Tonight, I am your lovely little Pauper Elves host person thing. I'm Kendra Smith, the Maverick Girl. How are you all doing tonight, or today, however you want to do it? I am doing a nice little stream here for some Pauper Elves in celebration of my awesome finale of my Pauper Elves Primer. As you can probably tell, I've got a whole bunch going on here. Here's a nice little introduction, all this kind of stuff, you know, talking about just a little deck discussion, you know, talking about the, the lesser used cards, including a nice, long, lengthy rant on land grant here, and some other things. Sideboard cards and matchup discussion, how we beat different decks, and all kinds of things like that. So it's kind of freezing up just a little bit, and just a whole bunch of different little things. In this news article, I'm actually covering 3 different decks and doing a nice sideboard guide for all of them, like all these different matchups. Like, look at how extensive this is. It's ridiculous. I went pretty in-depth. It's not, I wouldn't call it all-inclusive, but it's pretty much everything you might want out of, you know, doing stuff with Pauper Elves. So, I'm going to have links in the description below once I get this on YouTube here, so don't mind me. But I'm just getting some links around for a minute or two, waiting for some people to kind of make their way in here. And I will get going with some more Pauper Elves nonsense. We're going to just try and maybe do this, like, you know, people can ask questions. You know, let's talk about Pauper, basically. Let's talk about this deck. Let's talk about, obviously, the article series that I had in that nice little primer. So, I want to get some people in here. Let's play some games. So, let me take this away here. Obviously, if you're just wondering what's going on here, what am I doing with Elves? I'm playing Pauper Elves. I'm trying to also add Stream Decker or Cardboard Live. Looks like the deck went up, so it looks like it's working. So that's good. So if you're popping the stream, you're just hanging out, I do now have Cardboard Live. So that's pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty stoked about that. But, you know, this list is pretty standard, pretty straightforward. Obviously, my list is a little bit different from C's for Cookies. I need to actually mark his list in here. I'll probably be running that later tonight and doing a second league, and I want to talk about that, too. Just, you know, give my thoughts on it. I think it's a very different list from mine, and I actually, even just looking, like, I disagree with a lot of his card choices, but when I go through and I started going through and I started like planning out how I would sideboard in these matchups and go, there's actually a lot more to this than I'm thinking about. Like, some of these cards are actually might be a little bit better than what I'm playing right now. So I need to give it some more. I need to give my list some more thought based on that. But I want to actually play with his list and kind of see where I'm feeling. But I think, you know what, I can wait for some people. But I don't think that's really going to do me very much here. So you know what we're going to do? We're probably just going to dive right in just a second. Get like a nice little drink going on here. But then we can just pop on in. Tomorrow, I'm going to sweet Pauper Challenge run. We got the Pauper Format Championship. So, you know, I unfortunately was not able to make it into there. I only played 2 of the format challenges for Pauper. And came pretty close in, like, I think both of them. Or no, one of them I ended up in, like, top 32, I think. And then the other one, I ended up in, I was, like, 14th place or something like that. So we got kind of close, but, or no, I think I got 12th place, and I, like, just narrowly missed making it in there. Because, like, 2 people in top 8 had already made top 8 in the first one, or something along those lines. Hopefully this next year provides a little more opportunities for me in that regard, but for right now, we're going to play some more challenge. We're going to play a Pauper challenge tomorrow since I can't get in. We're just going to kind of have some fun with that. I'm going to do a nice long stream because I've been wanting to do a few streams this week, but right as you can probably tell just by looking at this this article here, it took me way longer than I think I expected with this, and longer to put it together. Because I thought it was like, okay, just type up, you know, here's a little sideboard, you know, that's really easy. Blurbs are, for like when I talk about the actual deck, it's really just like small. It's one paragraph, because the idea is that you're supposed to take what you learned from the previous articles and kind of apply it. So, it took me a lot. It took a lot more than I would think I was expecting it to. Between that, with all the streams and such, some other stuff that was happening with me last week, I really didn't get very good sleep this week, and I was really feeling it. So I want to kind of make up for that and do a nice, really long stream tomorrow. So I'm gonna play a nice challenge run. Maybe do a little league before that or something like that. So I'm just gonna go ahead. We're just gonna dive right on into some Pauper League action, and we're gonna play some Pauper Elves. How you guys feel about that? This real quick. Ugh. I've got like really bad allergies, so it's like my nose kind of clogs up with like a lot of dust and stuff like that. It's frustrating, it's annoying. But we're gonna dive right in. We're gonna try and play some Magic. Hey! Hey there, Mantis, how we doing? Hope you are having a fantastic day today so far. Pauper F&M, that sounds awesome. On 84080, heck yeah. Really happy to hear that. Yeah, no, Pauper Elves is fantastic. It can be a little challenging to run in paper sometimes. I still have some trouble with it sometimes, trying to keep, you got your little playmat, and you have to use some of that real estate for like your deck, here's my graveyard, everything like that, and then you have to coordinate where everything else is in this really small space. It's rough sometimes. But I'm glad for it. So, awesome. I'm glad to hear that you're doing well, that you did excellent last night. Did you get, I'm guessing if you went 4080, did you get one of those sweet promo packs? And what did you get in the booster pack if you, did that? Hey, Cynthia. How you doing? Thanks for popping in, Cynthia. Seeing ya. How you doing? I'm tired. Last night I actually went to bed a little bit early. I felt like I wasn't really able to like keep my eyes open very long, and I got, I don't know, 2-3 hours of sleep, and I woke up with like some bad acid reflux or something like that, and just ended up like, throwing up a bunch. So, rather than just doing it like, you know, take a nap, get up, do a nice stream, and then get some sleep, I decided, I'm just going to sleep through. So I ended up getting like a proper like 11-12 hours of sleep or something. So I'm feeling a lot better. But it just took me a little bit longer, obviously, than to get going than I intended to. So I wanted to do a nice long stream, but I'm going to the movies in about 3 hours, not even. So I'm hoping we can get some nice quick games in. So, oof, flood of tears. What else? You had to have gotten 2 rares. 2 rares. Did you get anything else good? Yeah, it's usually, it's 2 rares, the arena code, and, the F&M promo. The F&M promos are a bit meh from Throne of Eldraine, but the others are pretty good. I'm really looking forward to the Theros Beyond Death ones, because the Theros ones can have modern cards and commander cards in the curated card slot. So I'm actually really excited about that. I actually just got a new laptop, which is going to enable me to go to Pauper nights a lot more at my local store, because then I can sit down and play Pauper while I'm writing articles or doing some of my data entry side work that I do, things like that. So I'm pretty excited, actually, because that'll mean I can actually dip my feet more into the paper magic again, where I haven't really been able to recently. I'd even like to see it so that I could stream some of the matches somehow, but I don't know how I'd manage that. This is taking quite a while to find a match today. I know, you know, it can usually take a few minutes, but I'm a little surprised that it's taking us like basically like 5 minutes or so. It's ridiculous. Oh, those aren't too bad. Did you get the foil pack or like a non-foil pack? By the way, since you are just kind of popping in here, I just wanted to mention I now have, if it's not showing up there immediately for everybody, excuse me, I turned on Cardboard Live. So now I have Cardboard Live on my stream, and I'm very excited about that, so I can hopefully doing everything else. Okay, so Foil Outlaws Merriment probably isn't too bad. Flood of Tears is actually, like, a solid card. There was actually, like, a deck that, my one little Discord server I'm part of, liked to call, like, Flooding the Basement. And they would just run, like, Flood of Tears and everything like that. So, so Flood of Tears is actually, like, a decent card. I don't know how playable it is right now. And I don't think it's going to get so much more playable with Theros, but it's a really cool card. Well, that's unfortunate. Hopefully your store grows a little bit, and you can get and they can get the foil and the non-foil one as well. Oh, hey, there we go. We finally got us a match. So, let's see what we got. Hey there, Liquid. How are you doing? Welcome back. It's good to see you. How are you doing? Oh, no. Is our opponent going to hit yes? Please join. I don't want to have to sit here and wait again. Whoa, Liquid, thanks so much for that sub. Welcome to that elf ball. How are you doing? Lao? I don't know what this person is. Oh, I need to get that. I've got a, an arm. You may recognize it from, like, previous streams, videos, where I use my microphone and I, like, hang it right above me. That kind of got lost in the move a little bit, and I found it because my roommates had it. So, I need to set it up, but, like, I got, like, the microphone here right in front of me, and it's, like, blocking my view of a few things, and I hate it. So, I'll fix that up probably tonight or tomorrow or something. Awesome! Well, thank you so much, Liquid. I so appreciate it. You got a sweet new emote from that. Alright, so we kept an okay hand here. It's not great. I had to look at this a few times, but I think it has a lot of play. If we see... Okay, so they're on burn, so it's going to be a little bit trickier than I had hoped. But the fact that they didn't burn our stuff right away means we might actually have a slight shot at this. I think my best chance... Maybe I actually shouldn't have played that priest right there. But I want to play his Birchlore... Play... Do I want to play Nettle Sentinel? Or do I want to play as Kieran Ranger, untap the ANOTHER Elves, play Nettle Sentinel, and then play Kieran Ranger? Or I could play Kieran Ranger... Well, actually, yeah, that works better. Yeah, let's do that. They know then that I don't have anything in my hand, but then it's also going to be harder for them to kind of really go in. Well, I didn't play that how I meant to, but this will work. So now we'll see what they got going on. They know that we only have one card in hand and that it's a forest, so it's not as good as I would have liked, but it's still fine. especially if we see the distant melody. And obviously, I don't want to play. I don't want to attack, because like if I attack everything, then they'll either kill the priest or the Birchlore Rangers, so not really exciting. That said, this is a pretty good hand, pretty good board state. I actually like what's going on here quite a bit. So it's just going to depend on how their hand looks and how our draws can look. They got a Thermal Alchemist, so that's a little annoying. They got a Rift Bolt. If I could see a Melody or something. No, that's another Forest. Honestly, they know what kind of deck I'm on. I don't think it really does me any favors here to hold this back when they kind of have an idea of exactly what I'm doing. So I'm just going to play the Forest. And so next turn, I might just die. If they have 3 bolts in the Fire Blast, then there's no way I can... Well, yeah, because we already know that they have the Rift Bolt, right? If they have 3 bolts and a Fire Blast... Or, actually, even 3 bolts. Just 3 bolts does it. And I just lose. Point blank. Even a Searing Blaze isn't as good, but it still gets there. Needle Drop. So, the fact that I didn't see any draw, any life gain or anything, it was a little unfortunate here. Just not much I could really do. So it may turn out that the Essence Horns actually might be better a bit right now, so I may actually go up those again. But either way, I'm going to be rocking C is for Cookies list next time, so we're definitely going to be running them no matter what here pretty soon. And there's the last Chain Lightning. We're going to go in this next game. Pretty simple sideboarding. I'm going to use my lovely little sideboard guide here, which you can find just by... I set up a few things so get going. So what do I do? What did I list here for burn? I wrote bringing in 2 Weather the Storms, 1 Spider Silk, 1 Harsh Sustenance, and cut a Longbow, 2 Melodies, and Huntmaster. Why am I cutting all of those? They're not as good here. They just get easily blown out by whatever my opponent is doing. Longbow doesn't really do much to kill their creatures. Huntmaster just eats a bolt. And it's harder to cast than some of the other ones. And obviously we don't really want Melody too much. So I think this is pretty solid. I actually like this hand a lot. The fact that I can go Elvish Mystic. I can even play a land. So yeah, this is actually great. So here's what I can do. I can actually go play a land, Elvish Vanguard, and then go Kieran Ranger, untap the Elvish Mystic, and then Nettle Sentinel. I don't get this Priest on the board, but I at least have a Vanguard that is a 3/3. So they basically like have to bolt it here, or else it's going to be out of their range, and we'll start putting a lot of pressure on them really fast. So, it's pretty much a good lightning rod here. Yep. Cycling Forgotten Cave. Playing a Mountain. What do we got? Interesting. Well, I'm going to attack for 4 here. I'm going to play as Priest. I have a feeling that the Priest isn't going to stick around. We'll see how this plays out. Martyr of Ashes. Yikes. Okay, so this is why, like, Spider Silk isn't really that great. This is actually one of the few reasons that I would actually recommend trying out Hydro Blast. Because it's just so much easier just to deal with a Martyr of Ashes than it is, like, so many other things. But it does put us at a severe disadvantage right now. But at the end of the day, Burn is just a very hard matchup for Elves. So even if we lose here, basically just have to just treat it as a loss. It happens. Let's see what they got going on. I can't cast this Harsh Sustenance right now, which is a little annoying. But hopefully pretty shortly here we can make it work. Or they can do that, and I just get destroyed. So they've got a whole ton of cards in their hand still. We know about Skewer and a Needle Drop. So this Well Witcher is probably going to die. Because what they'll do is they'll just attack me with the Lava Runner. Lava Runner hits me. And then they'll just probably Skewer the Well Wisher. But I gotta try and get it on the board here. They just cast another Needle Drop, so all they got left in their hand is the Skewer and 5 unknowns. Good job. Alright, Searing Blaze only deals 1 damage to me, which is pretty good as far as I'm concerned. I actually like getting Priest here, because as long as they don't blow up the Priest or kill me this turn, which they're probably going to kill me, if I draw into a Lead the Stampede and get Cure and Ranger on the board with a bunch of other stuff, I might be able to get there. But again, given the number of cards they have in their hand, which is 5, I'm probably just dead. No, I guess they didn't quite have it, so they just wanted to get it in there. But so they used the Skewer. I'm just going to scoop here, though. There's not really much I can do. I'd rather just go into this next match and just take the loss. So let's see what happens. Hopefully we can get some better matchups. I don't want to keep seeing, like, Burn and, I don't know. I haven't really seen much Pestilence, but I've been seeing, like, obviously a bunch of, like, Mono Black Control, Rakdos, Monarch, or Rakdos Discard, if you want to call it that. Things like that, so hopefully don't run into too much of that today. And now we play the waiting game again. So, how's everybody doing? I know I've only got a couple people in here, but I hope you're all doing pretty well today. Anyone got anything really fun and exciting happening over the weekend here? Hey, Slow. How are you doing there? I'm doing alright. Last night, like I kind of said on Twitter, I got a little sick last night. Had a little, I went to bed because I was stupid tired after a really long and exhausting week. And I got like 2 or 3 hours of sleep, and then I ended up dealing with some, acid reflux or something, and, like, threw up a bunch. Not really my idea of a good time. But thankfully, you know, got it out of my system and was able to get some good sleep last night. So I'm doing a lot better today. I'm going to the movies in a couple hours here. Mala Grinja. Don't know what they're on, but we're going to try this. Wow, that's a great hand. I wish it had a little more in terms of mana dorks, but I think it's really good. Well-Wisher kind of just goes in there. Timberwatch the turn after. Like, the curve is just really good here. We can draw into a lot as well. So even if I draw into some land, it's not the end of the world, because I can then cast Huntmaster and maybe even just lead the Stampede for some more action. So I don't mind it either way. Thraben Inspector's fine. Oh, hey, and I got a Kieran Ranger too. Love to see it. So, playing the Well-Wisher. Next turn I'm going to go for the Timberwatch Elf. What is going on here? Thraben Inspector and... Is this that weird Ephemerate Atog deck that I was seeing flying around a little bit? And it's going to be really strange if it is. So that makes me wonder if they're going to actually try and kill Well-Wisher here, or if they're going to try and go for the Timberwatch. Let's see, it is that Atog deck. Okay. This is going to be so weird. I don't really know what to expect here. I hate this. Let me kind of just see what goes on with this deck again. Take a quick second before I make a move here. I want to see what my odds of just dying right here, right now are. No, that's not it either. Well, I can't seem to find the list, so... The hell if I know. Alright, I think I just want to go for Lead the Stampede here, see what I hit. Alright, we hit some gas. So I can go for Kieran Ranger here. I'm going to tap like that. We're going to see what happens. Worst case, I may actually just end up throwing my Kieran Ranger in front of the Atog. Otherwise, we're going to see what happens. Because what I can definitely do next turn is I can get Whistle on a Huntmaster on the board and play Kieran Ranger. Which means then I get some extra tokens, I get some bigger creatures. That's a weird attack with that Thraben Inspector. Deck doesn't usually run Teamer Battle Rage from what I can tell, unless they decide to slip in Teamer Battle Rage. This deck is so weird. I'm still gonna bounce the lands. So that means I won't be able to get there with the Huntmaster nonsense like I had kind of been hoping. That's another Atog. So this is going to make things a little challenging. Oh, hey, there's another Kieran Ranger. So this is actually pretty solid. It's going to make trying to cast these Huntmasters a little awkward, but I think it's going to do a whole world of good. I might even just let the Atogs come through. I'm trying to think how I can make this work. 2, 4, 6, 7 artifacts on the battlefield. Probably going to play at least an 8th one here. Yes. Nine. So we got 18. It's 18, it's 36, 38. And it's a little more if they have Ephemerate for the Thraben Inspector. So it's sounding like I need to do a block somewhere here. Probably with Kieran Ranger. But we're going to see how I'm feeling. There's a Mole Drifter, so that means that what that tells me is that they're not really going to go too hard with any attacks here, especially since they already played their land. Yep, they're not doing anything. That's excellent. That's exactly what I want to be seeing here. Alright, this is super good. So, I'm really hoping that I can kind of stick the landing here, that I don't really take a lethal attack or anything. Because what I can do next turn is I can play Huntmaster, make the token, tap Well-Wisher, untap it with Kieran Ranger, pick up a land, and play the second Elvish Vanguard. Depending on how I want to play this, I might even go for the second Vanguard first. I guess it depends on what my draws look like. Like, if I were to see a Birchlore Rangers here, I would probably change things up a bit. Ooh, Carapace Forger is actually pretty solid for me. So yeah, it looks like we're just going to stonewall here for a while. Oh, hey, another Huntmaster. I'm just trying to look and see what they've got. So we've got the Flings. They've got, obviously, Galvanic Blast, but we're sitting on Timberwatch with multiple activations from Kieran Ranger. I think I'm just pretty good. I think I'm actually going to play this Vanguard first. I think I want to get that as big as I can, as quickly as I can. Even if it means I have to sacrifice or not play a token immediately. It's going to put me in, I think, an overall better position long term. I can't think of any way that they win this at this point. Because between the Well-Wishers and everything, I'm just going to have enough that I can get there, basically. In fact, at some point here in the very near future, it's probably actually going to be worth it to attack them and just go pretty hard with the Timberwatch Elf. I don't think I want to do it this turn. I think I want to make sure I have a buffer with my Well-Wisher and all that. But I think really soon here, we're going to be going for a pretty big swing. So I'll be honest here, what I think I'm actually going to do, I think I'm going to swing with this Elvish Vanguard. It is a 12-12. Blocking it would mean that they would have to lose a significant amount of board presence. I think it's a pretty solid play. Because at this point, we've only seen one Galvanic Blast. I don't want to just die to, like, some weird attack or something like that. Or, like, you know, try and triple Timberwatch something and then just have it get bolted 3 times. Like, there is definitely, like, a real risk here. It's a weird risk, but it is a risk all the same. Look at that life total. That life total is pretty nice, though, huh? Alright, so what do they got? Another fling. So, I was probably right. And they probably just have it. No? I don't think they thought I was going to do that. Excellent. Yeah, so they just pretty much saw the writing on the wall there and just scooped it on up. So, this is pretty easy. Kind of know what their list is. If anyone's wondering, this is the list. It's, or it's going to be something similar to this, I should say. It's like Thraben Inspectors, the Togs, all this. So their sideboards, they've got Blue Elemental Blast, Dispel, Electrickery, Quark Clan Shaman, Red Elemental Blast, Lone Missionary, and Serene Heart. We don't really have to worry about Serene Heart, but we do have to worry about Quark Clan and Electrickery. A little bit on the Red Elemental Blast, so I want to be really careful about how I do this. The way I've had my affinity thing here before... Where's my affinity? F6 for affinity. So what I normally do is bring in 3 Prohibits and 2 Gleeful Sabotage, and just kind of leave in that 1 Spider Silk Armor. It's not really worth it to go too deep if I'm not expecting too many Electrickeries, because the numbers vary. If I see Quark Clan Shaman, it doesn't really matter how much I've got. So, but Huntmaster, worth taking out, because it just, you know, they can always have Temper Battle Rage or something like that. Distant Melodies, because, you know, it doesn't really do anything against a Quark Clan Shaman. Nettle Sentinel, what's a 2/2 doing against a bunch of big guys, and Viridian Longbow. But, we know that they have, what is it? We know that they have 2 Electrickeries. So... I'm thinking about going down another Nettle Sentinel here. And going up 1 more Spider Silk Armor. Yeah, I'm going to do that here. For this particular deck. Because we know that they have Electrickeries. Or that they should have Electrickeries, rather. This hand is really good, but it's risky as well. It's risky because, excuse me, they might just have Galvanic Blast turn 1 Elvish Mystic, but they, or turn 2, I should say, I guess. But they probably don't, because they would have to have the hand that has the Great Furnace and the other thing, or they could, you know, they could have like a Chromatic Star. But I think again, it doesn't really feel super likely. So I think I'm going to keep it, because if we can go Mystic into Priest, then we're super good. Drawing Prohibits is pretty solid too, but I do need to hit a Birchlore or something to make that really work for me. Prophetic Prism means my next turn is going to be a little shaky, a little rough. We did find a Kieran Ranger, so that's good. I think what I'm actually going to do here is I'm not going to play Priest just yet. I want to play this Timberwatch Elf and see what they do. If they go Electrickery, then our Timberwatch Elf survives, and we can kind of do some more things. Not too much, but we have a little more options, a little more flexibility. Whereas if I just went Priest and we ate in the Electrickery, well, then we're going to have a bad time. Crookland Shaman means we're still probably going to have a pretty bad time, but we're going to see what we can do here to make it a little bit easier on us. What is up, Butters? How are we doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day. So they're probably just going to sack 2 lands. Or 1 land and the Clue. Yep, there's the Ancient Den. So we're both losing our entire boards, which is frustrating, but they might be as behind as I am, basically. So I can't do anything here. The hand is kind of unfortunate with the Crookland Shaman, but I definitely made the right play of not playing the Priest just yet. So we're going to see what happens from here. Carapace Forger, that's rough. But we got a land, so we can go for the Priest. Hopefully our draws line up a little nicely, so we can maybe go for, like, Huntmaster or something. Actually, if they don't kill the Priest, I can just play Huntmaster, because they have an elf on the board as well. I have been very busy recently here, but I'm doing pretty well. Thank you. I'm trying to do a lot more content-wise, so I'm pretty excited about that. As you can tell, I'm doing quite a bit here. And the Sylvan Ranger is a fantastic draw. I am so stoked to have drawn that right now, because that means I can get this island, which means that I can play this Huntmaster. And next turn, I should be able to cast another Huntmaster and leave Prohibit up. I think if they go for a Crookland Shaman, I'm not too worried about that. I wouldn't be happy about it, but I wouldn't be too upset either. Okay, this is great. So this is what I wanted to see. And that's even better. Alright. I'm trying to think. Math is hard. If I play Finhorn, I don't have enough for... Okay, what I can do, though, is I can go Huntmaster here, and I still have enough for the Prohibit, but not the Spider Silk Armor. So I can, if they have a Crookland Shaman, I can still Prohibit it. This is still very risky, though. I wish I could have cast that Spider Silk Armor in the same turn. My one way to do that might have been to not cast the Whistle on a Huntmaster and just play the Finhorn Elves and the Spider Silk. Because that means... Because what could happen now is they could have, like, in the Electrickery and a Crookland Shaman, which puts me at a severe disadvantage. What I really want to see is a Birchlore Rangers. If I can find a Birchlore Rangers... I'll allow it. I don't like it, but I'll allow it. I'd rather keep my mana up for any anything like this. So I'm hoping that they don't have the Red Elemental Blast. God damn it. Alright, I think here is where I just scoop it up. Yeah. Because it's not going to kill their Mole Drifter, and it won't kill their Carapace Forger or their Mirror Enforcer. So I'm just going to take some big, heavy hits. I'm just going to scoop it up. I won't be able to come back from that in one turn. What are they doing showing me their hand? Oh, well. So let's... I think I'm just going to fire it back. Not much I can really do. Prohibits are rough because we know that they brought in Red Elemental Blast, so that's unfortunate. That's not a good hand. Because we have 2 lands, which is actually good. And we could play Elvish Vanguard, but then after that, we're hoping that we can see something else. And if I can't see something else, then this hand is just dead. So I'm going to mull that. This is better, but it's still not very great. I like it because I can still have the mana open to cast Prohibit. But I'm not particularly thrilled about this hand. I'll keep it. I'm going to keep it, and I'm going to throw Finhorn Elves to the bottom. We're going to play Elvish Mystic and see what happens. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. So I can actually go like this now. Because now I have mana... Well, I probably would have had the mana open anyway, right? Do I care about that? Nah, that's fine. Spider Silk Armor is good. So now they can't Electrickery us, and we're just sitting here trying to do all of this here. Rhonda, how you doing? Thank you so much for that follow. Welcome to the Elf Ball. How are you doing today? Okay, so that Carapace Forger is going to start going in for some rough damage, and that's going to suck, but I think overall this is still fine. Not great, but fine. It's another Carapace Forger. I don't like it, but I would rather keep the Prohibit for something more problematic. See, this is why I'm okay with that. Like, I'm good with the Well-Wisher. Well-Wisher will just, like, soften this blow so much, and it'll get even easier just the more elves that we draw. Thoughtcast is fine. Chromatic Star, sure. Yep, Mirror Enforcer's all good. Jeez. Yes! More Well-Wishers. Let's snap them off. Love me some overclocked remixes. This music is just fantastic. So we're at 3. We are at risk of just running into a bolt, but we'll see what happens. I don't like this. It does mean that they can set up either a Galvanic Blast into a Red Elemental Blast. So cross those fingers. Oh, and they had the other blast. So we're just dead. That's unfortunate, but what can you do, right? It's definitely one of those matchups I'm just not used to it. I'm not used to seeing that type of deck. Seeing Affinity run Mole Drifter and Ephemerate is just so strange. I don't know that it's particularly good. I don't know that I would recommend it if you're looking to play something interesting, but it is certainly different. So I'll give it the deck that. Hopefully it doesn't take us too long to find a match. Before we were taking like 5 minutes at a time to like find matches. But hope you're all liking the stream so far. Hope you all are having a great day. If you're enjoying the stream, don't already follow. Got the nice little follow button up there, nice little heart. Every little bit is awesome. I'd appreciate it. I'll also take just a quick second, just talk about the sweet Elves Primer that I've been working on. I've put a lot of time and effort into it. Look at this. This is a sideboard guide, everyone, and it's a sideboard guide for 3 different builds of Pauper Elves. It's not like obviously all inclusive or all intensive, because just there are little differences that just happen across different versions of the decks. People build their list differently and whatnot. But if you actually click up all the way here at the top, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 different links that you can hit. I got your link right here. CoolStuffInc.com. They're fantastic. I work with them, and I love working with them. If MTG Bot wants to actually work with me here, there we go. So, love to see it, and there's just so much information here. If you're looking to play, whoa. Oh, our opponent just backed out or something? That's interesting. So, at least that gives me a little more time to talk about it. So, I've got, first off, there's the introduction, which is just like, here's a basic list that I was working on at the time. And then I go and talk through just basically the little aspects of the deck, how every card works with one another, interesting lines you can take with one another, things like that. So, we found a match, though, so let's jump in, see what we got. Escarado, don't know this person. I've seen a lot of names that I don't recognize in Pauper recently. This name is Yikes. This still isn't very good, but I'm gonna keep it. This is weird. I'm gonna throw back Melody and Listen Along Huntmaster. This hand is just such a risk and so dangerous, I just kind of don't want to go too deep on it. But we're gonna go for Nettle Sentinel. Because then I can also just lead in with, if nothing else, I can just try and aggro them pretty hard. And the Nettle Sentinels work really nicely with Birchlore Rangers. So, like, any draws, basically, from here on work very well for me. So we saw a Plains there, which means probably one of 2 things. It's either Boros Bully, or it's, Mono White Heroic. There is a chance that it's actually Boros Monarch, but Boros Monarch doesn't run very many copies of Plains in its 75. So I'm not going to, while I'm not ruling it out, I don't think it's Monarch either. Journey to Nowhere, sure. So that sucks, but I think we can still get there. Oh my god. Back-to-back lead the Stampedes when I didn't want to see them is not good for me. So this could still be either Bully or Mono, or Boros Bully. I don't know. We're going to have to just kind of play it out and see how it goes from here. Well, we finally got some way to get our Nettle Sentinels back online here. So my hope is that next turn I can find some way to... Okay, it's Boros Bully for sure. So I'm probably in for a really bad time here now. And if I had double blocked, then they had 3 mana open. They might have actually just had Lead the Stamp, or not Lead the Stampede. What am I thinking of here? I can't words. Prismatic Strands. There it is. Awesome. I'm glad that the guides have kind of helped you out a little bit. So I'm going to go in with these Nettle Sentinels. You know, if they do something, I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm going to play the Birchlore Rangers after that, and it's so unfortunate that I can't do anything with it this turn. Because this will give me 2 mana, not 3, so I can't even cast a Lead the Stampede. If I'm able to survive, then next turn I might actually be able to go pretty hard with this Lead the Stampede, but my guess is they probably have like some bolt spells, and they're probably just going to kill me. Battle Screech? Okay. So I'm not dead yet, but I'm probably dead. Because then what they'll do is just flash it back, swing at me for 8, and then I don't have any real way to battle it back. That makes sense. There is an out, so I'm going to play to that out, but the odds of me reaching that point are so slim that it isn't funny. So, no blocks. Here's my possible potential out, right? Lead the Stampede, untaps Nettle Sentinels. If we can get Kieran Ranger on board, and we can start maybe chaining these Lead the Stampedes, if I see a Distant Melody as this draw, there's a chance. It's so slim, but it is a chance. That's not going to do it. So, I don't have anything else really in my main deck to answer those birds. No cards that just draw me anything. Well-Wishers don't activate, so I'm starting to think that maybe I actually do want to bring Essence Wards back into my list, like I had before. This is pretty easy. So I'm going to bring up that sideboard guide again so people can kind of follow along at home, see what we got going on. So I'm just F6ing. I recommend if you're doing anything like that, and you're just checking out the list, want to learn sideboarding or anything, do all this. So I'm going to bring in 2 Prohibits, 2 Scattershot Archers, 2 Spider Silk Armors, and a Harsh Sustenance. The reason I'm doing this is the Prohibits help battle back against like some of their hate spells, as well as their more problem cards. I obviously can hit Rally the Peasants and whatnot. Harsh Sustenance beats back against Prismatic Strands. That's the other thing Prohibit's really good for is Prismatic Strands. Spider Silk lets us block more easily. And Scattershot, if we can get Scattershot online, Scattershot just totally wipes out all of the little birds that they're rocking. But, so what we're going to actually take out of our list is we're going to take out the following. An Elvish Vanguard, a Well-Wisher, 2 Timberwatch Elves, 2 Distant Melodies, and a Huntmaster. Reason for that is Timberwatch isn't that great when they kind of just fly over our heads. Melody isn't good because they can just bolt a lot of our stuff. And what have you. So make sure I read that correctly. Yes. 1 Well-Wisher. Even though we like to have it because we're going to try and gain some life, it's not as really critical here. So, and it was Elvish Vanguard, correct? Yes. Because Vanguard also just kind of just gets blocked infinitely by their tokens if they make them. But it is really good against, like, what am I thinking? Seeker of the Way. I'm going to mull that. That's a really terrible hand. This is still not good, but it's better. I'm actually trying to decide what I want to toss back. So I'm going to keep this. I don't know if I want to lose Harsh Sustenance or Melody. I think I really want to lose Harsh Sustenance, but it is between those two. Because here's the thing, right? So this turn, I can go Scattershot Archer. That's really good for a lot of things. And I can also use Kieran Ranger with it going forward. But what I can also do then is I can follow next turn and go Kieran Ranger, Birchlore Rangers, and we just go nuts. Okay, this is really good now. So we can do this. Play Kieran Ranger, untap the Archer, and play Finhorn Elves. Now, we are at risk. I maybe even should have attacked that Scattershot, because they're probably not going to have anything. But if they play a Mountain and then go Electrickery, oh, they just scooped. Excellent. But they also run Squadron Hawks, which means we can just start killing their Squadron Hawks. So this is really good. We're just going to run it back. Hopefully I get a better draw this time around. This is really good, and I'm going to keep this. We have great ways to battle back their hate. We have good creatures. This all just feels really good to me. So what I can actually do is I can lead with ANOTHER Elves. The turn after that, I can go Elvish. No, I can't do that. We're going to have to see how this plays out. If I draw a forest, my entire plan is going to be Elvish Vanguard, Birchlord Rangers, then Nell Sentinel. But they're getting a mountain with Ash Barrens, so we're going to be in for a rough ride here in about a second. Okay. So we were able to get the Birchlord online. Now, we're going to see what happens now. It's going to bum me out if they, like, Electrickery or Bolt or anything, and I can't use my Prohibit. They're Firebolting the ANOTHER Elves, which is weird to me. I don't like that play. And what I mean I don't like it from, like, it doesn't feel like the right move to me. We got a Kieran Ranger, though, so that's actually fantastic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack with this Nettle Sentinel. Use this Kieran Ranger. We're going to tap some creatures. No, hang on. We're going to untap that like this. So now I have mana available to me for the Prohibit. Which is definitely very important. That's what I want. That's where I want to be. I don't want to block, because even if I'm able to prohibit whatever they do, I still can't really do anything here. So, oh, that's a good draw. So let's try and beef up this Elvish Vanguard while I have the chance here. They may try and Electrickery with the thing, or with the pump on the stack. No? Okay, that tells me that they probably don't have a board wiper here. So I'm going to go for... Do I want to go for Huntmaster? I'm gonna go for Huntmaster here. So this should leave us with enough mana to cast Prohibit in response to any board wipes or anything like that. So we're going to leave it like this and just kind of pass it on back to them. Yeah, I'll let them have some damage. Prohibit. Let's see what you got. Rally the peasants? Sure. Okay. It deals a bunch of damage, but it doesn't really get you there. Oh, they scooped. Huh. I don't think that was what I expected, but sure, we'll take that. A win's a win, right? So, not bad. I think we still probably would have gotten there because we would have been able to go Timberwatch Elf soon after that, and we would have still had mana for Prohibit. I wish I could have seen what we would have drawn there, because I would have liked to. I like to talk about how I would have made my plays if I had actually been given the extra turn, because I think they probably should have played that out a little more. Obviously, I don't know what their hand was, so I can't really say, but yeah, Prohibit can definitely catch people off guard and definitely tilt them a bit. This hand is risky, but I like it. Double Vanguard is really good here. And if we see like any lands, any Kieran Rangers, then we get Timberwatch Elf on the line on board as well. Feels pretty solid. I'm going to try it. I feel like I ran into this person like last week, or earlier this week or something. I'm trying to remember what they were on. I can't remember for the life of me. The leagues that I've played this week have been a bit of a blur. I'll probably play some not... Whoa, 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 whoa. I just have 6. So we're going to play Vanguard here and see what happens. Okay, so they're definitely on... Is it fairies? Which is not good for me. Yikes! Fire. We're going to play another Mystic here and see what happens, but I'm not liking this. Even if I lose this, I'll still probably go into another match. Even if I can't get a positive record. And we'll just try and finish it out best we can. Feels like they've got a ninja here. Yeah. Ninja into another fairies here. Yep. So the fact that they're on fire and ice, in addition to all the other stuff that they're going to bring in post board, is just so bad. I'm going to keep playing for a little bit here and see what happens, but this is like the worst hand to see against this deck right now. Like, this is actively not what I want to be seeing. Yeah, I'm just going to skip. I can't block that ninja. They're just going to draw so many cards that I can't really fight them back. So, bringing this out again. Fairies. So we're going to bring in 2 Prohibits, 2 Scatter Shots, 2 Spider Silk, and a Relic, which is what I usually do here. And we're going to take out probably these 2 Distant Melodies, for sure. I can tell you that much without even looking back at my thing here. 2 Well-Wishers. We want 1, but like it's not as good in this matchup. Same with Vanguard. Like, it's good, but it's not great. Like, it's good if we can get there fast. You go and cut a Huntmaster and a Timberwatch. Again, they're harder to cast if they start bolting a lot of our stuff down. We usually want to keep 1 Longbow in because it can fight back against their fairies. So, it seems pretty solid. Now, one card that people ask me about a lot is Relic of Progenitus. Why do I bring Relic of Progenitus in? That's because Delver decks tend to run this nice little card called, I can't even think of the name now. Swirling Sandstorm. We got there eventually, everyone. Alright, I like this hand. It is definitely risky. But we're going to risk it for the biscuit. But Relic actively stops Swirling Sandstorm. So it is an essential card for our deck. I'm going to go Vanguard, and I'm going to go Kieran Ranger here. I don't really like Kieran Ranger here too much, but I think I would rather hold back the Mana Dork if I can help it. They're probably going to go for the mountain here. No, they're going for the island. That's interesting. We wonder if they've got the mountain naturally, if they've gotten ash barrens for it instead, and they just wanted to make sure they got the island beforehand. They did have the natural mountain. So, do they have electricity? Are they going to just bolt my Vanguard? What are we doing? Fire and ice. Sure. So we do have Mystic and Birch Lore. So we are setting ourselves up for a really nice Elvish Vanguard here. I like it. It's currently out of their Scred range. As long as they don't do like another bolting my stuff, we should also be able to stick the landing on Huntmaster and get it super out of the way. But this is definitely a hard matchup, and our hand and our board really probably isn't helping things here today. So again, as much as I really wanted to do a nice, super long stream today, I ended up getting kind of sick this morning, or last night rather, and I ended up just sleeping through the night. And I also pre-ordered some tickets to go see some sweet movies that I've been looking forward to going to see. So I'm gonna go probably about an hour, depending on how these matches go. I'm probably gonna go catch those movies, have some good times. So, I don't think Elvish Vanguard is particularly good because a lot of times either they counter it or they just Scred it, you know? It can get bigger, but a lot of times it doesn't. So, there's not really much point in me trying it when I would rather have, like, the smaller creatures, Nell, Sentinel, and all of them to try and go lower to the ground if possible. So, I don't think it's particularly great. But that's just me. What do we got? Timberwatch Elf. Okay. That's super good. Now, it can be very good, because obviously, like, this is one of those cases where the Vanguard is actually putting in the work. However, right now, like, what we could see is, if they have, like, Bolt, or if they have Bolt Scred, well, it just dies. Tragic Lesson. So, do they have the Bolt for the Timberwatch? Or, yeah, they got a Scred. Okay. So we can't Huntmaster here, but we can... Oh no, shoot. I didn't hold up Prohibit. Ugh. Playing it bad. Sure, I'm 2 for wanting them now. But most games, you're not 2 for wanting them. They're usually... You cast Elvish Vanguard and they go Lightning Bolt it, or they go Scred. Or heck, even sometimes, before you're even able to get your Vanguard down, they go Electricity. It's more of a proactive approach to what they're most likely going to do. I'm trying to think here. I don't think there's really anything I can do. I could hold up for Prohibit, but I think it's better to try for the Priest here. So I obviously can't do anything with Prohibit, so we're just going to try and go in. Tragic Lesson, sure. This is interesting. So they got an Augur. They picked up Counterspell. I'm curious to see how this turn's going to go. Okay, I like this. So we're going to go Sylvan Ranger here. I honestly would have liked to have played Huntmaster first, but I think this is just the better way to go about this. But this game is definitely very good for us with the Vanguard. The other problem with Vanguard, too, is that a lot of times they can just do it like this. They can just kind of chump block and not really get very far. But I just realized that they are only at 5 life, so this is going to be interesting. I'm okay with Spell Stutter here. Maybe I shouldn't have cast a Huntmaster now I think about it, because now I can't prohibit a Swirling Sandstorm. I don't know. This play is kind of weird. I don't think I can kill them next turn, because they'll just chump block Vanguard and Huntmaster. I'll get 3 points of damage through. That's assuming I even do that. I probably won't. Curious about all of this, though. We're going to see how this plays. Alright, so they just scooped it up. They kind of saw the writing on the wall there, so... now we're back into it. We kind of are at Game 3, but here's the problem with Game 3, right? They lost, so they get to go first, which means we have a... It's harder for us to set up since we're kind of on the back foot. So let's see if we can draw a good hand. That is not a good hand. It would be a good hand, I think, if I saw like a land off the top, but I cannot risk that. So I got a mulligan. And I had to mulligan twice, and that was rough doing so. So, we're going to put this Prohibit and this Huntmaster back, and hope and pray that I can get some game out here. Turn 1 Mountain does not bode very well. However, drawing 3 forests does mean we can pretty much cast whatever we're looking to do. So, I actually like that. Augur is pretty good. Brainstorm, sure. Alright, we can probably stop the lands anytime soon here, Dak. What are they doing? They're thinking. Well, I'm going to get this Huntmaster on the board, but it is not going to stick around. I promise you that. They might even try for an Electrickery here. I think they're considering it. Or like a Fire and Ice. Well, now they're doing it. That's weird that they waited on it. I like this Relic, though. You can just start keeping them off of Swirling Sandstorm. And again, it also really helps, too, now, because a lot of these Is It Fairies builds are actually running, oh god, what's it called? Mystic Sanctuary. So, by using Relic of Progenitus, we can actually keep them off of, their Mystic Sanctuary targets. So I'm going to cast this Huntmaster, but I'm telling you right now, this Huntmaster is not long for this world. It is going to eat a Scred or a Lightning Bolt, like, right now. Maybe not. Because if they're going for Brainstorm instead of snapping off Lightning Bolt or Scred, then what that tells me is that they actually probably did not have it. So now it's a question of, do they have it? No, they didn't. That's interesting. So, I've got plenty of lands at this point. Because here's what's going to happen, right? I'm going to cast one of these, and it's going to eat a spell starter sprite. Probably not a counter spell. It might, but I think it's going to be more likely that we see a spell starter sprite here. I think I actually want to cast the Finhorn Elves first, bait out a counter spell, and then cast Kieran Ranger. Because we have enough mana that the Finhorn Elves probably doesn't matter very much for me. Whereas Kieran Ranger is pretty good, even if even without the mana or anything. So even if it's not really great right now, it can be useful later on. I don't want to attack with the Huntmaster in case of an Electrickery. Which really isn't problematic at this point in the game. Yeah, even if it is an Electrickery, I don't think I mind that too much. Fire and Ice is fine. I'm good with that. The way this game is going, I didn't really need those cards, so I'm kind of okay with that. And that was kind of what I was talking about. Like, I played the Kieran Ranger... I tried for the Kieran Ranger second, just because it has the potential for the later game, but right now it just kind of sucks. It's not really anything important, it's just there. I like this. Timberwatch Alpha is actually a good card here. Like, if the Kieran Ranger had stuck around, this would be the case. This would be the card of like why I wanted the Kieran Ranger, because then the Timberwatch Elf could just whoops, hit the wrong button there. Why did that try and take me to work? I don't know. I'm like looking up how long it takes me to get to the theater. About 20 minutes. It's not bad. Do I want them to have a counterspell? Not really. I'm gonna hit it. That may have been wrong, but I also want to make sure I can like try and advance my board presence. Oh, and we got a Spider Silk Armor? That's actually super good. So let's see what happens now. But they're definitely like far away from hitting what's it called anytime soon? Swirling Sandstorm. But they did put a Swirling Sandstorm into their hands, so we do have to be careful at this point. I'm going to try for this Spider Silk, but if they have double Spell Stutter Sprite, then I can't get this on the board. But we did get it, so that's actually fantastic. Now the trick is going to be getting this Elvish Vanguard on the board. So now we got to see if I can manage to get there. I really want this Vanguard, but we're gonna see. I'm not really expecting this to resolve. They probably got a Spell Stutter Sprite. No, they didn't. Ooh. Ooh. That's really good. I just hope that they don't have a burn spell for it. Based on the number of cards that they're starting to draw, though, I'm not very confident in my ability to win this game at this point. If I'm being honest. Wondering why they haven't bolted my Vanguard just yet. Feels like something they should do. Kind of sandbagging here a little bit. Wonder why. No, they're just discarding. Which might not be the worst for them. I think they might be hoping to do something with that. Yikes, I don't want to be seeing forests here. I want to be seeing gas that can kill them. Oh, let's see what we can do here. Yeah, that's getting scrudded. Okay. So, I'm in for a tough time here. Let's see what we can do. I don't want to start attacking, but we're really close. They're probably going to sandstorm. Yeah. Oh, please sandstorm now. Please make the play. I'm probably just dead, because then they have... Even if I... That's interesting. Why are they doing that now? This is probably not resolving, but I'm trying anyhow. Nope. There's the spell stutter. Yep. Ponder. I'm really curious as to why they haven't just like attacked with a Fairy Seer or something and maybe made me block with it. Okay, but now they got 7. They've got the Sandstorm, and then they also have Mystic Sanctuary to pick up. So I'm just going to scoop it up. No sense in me continuing this game. So, unfortunately, 1-3 so far. We're running into some rough matchups, and this is kind of what I was worried about. I've just been running into these pretty rough matchups all the time lately here. So, I think once I actually... Even though... I think this is just a rough patch for Elves. You know... I think the meta has just turned a little hostile towards it, but we're seeing a lot of ebb and flow with the meta game, which is good. That's what we want to be seeing as like an Elves player. This hand is fantastic. I'm going to keep this. Birchlore with Kirin Ranger and 2 Distant Melodies. Amazing. My first 2 matchups, I went up against Burn and Atog Affinity, or Ephemerate Affinity. It was so strange. Wow, we got another Birchlore Rangers too? God, this is so good. Alright, don't kill anything. Let me have this. If I can snap off the Distant Melody here, then I'm so good. They're on Boros Bully. They might have main deck Ela Trickery. Please don't. Let me have this. One time. Please. Please. Yes. Okay. I'm good with that. Draw 3 cards is still good. This is unfortunate. I cannot play any of this. So I'm just going to play this Forest and pass the turn. Next turn, I'm going to go for the Lead the Stampede, I think. I could go for Timberwatch Elf, but I don't know that that's really what I want right now. I think I want to make my board as big as and go wide as possible. Especially after that. Maybe actually I don't. Maybe I actually do want to play Timberwatch here. The more I think about it. Because then if I do get... If they don't kill this Timberwatch, if I do get a Birchlore off the Lead the Stampede, then I can protect it. Deck runs 6 main deck copies of burn spells usually, so they've already used 2 of them. Odds are that they probably don't have a third one in their opener. Oh wow, that actually reads a lot more like Boros Monarch than it does Bully. But we did get to keep this Timberwatch Elf, so let's go for this Lead the Stampede and see what we find. Did not find Birchlore, so we can't fire off this other Melody. But we did hit another Elvish Mystic, which is good. Can't kill them, right? No. I would put it up so they would go to 2 life. I'm just gonna let that go as is. So now though they have to really be on edge here, so we're gonna see how this plays. Faithless Looting, sure. I feel like they're trying to get a, God, what is it? the prismatic strands into their yard or in their hand or something along those lines. I don't know why I just like can't think of names of cards or anything right now. It's weird. That tells me they didn't find it, but they've got a Journey to Nowhere, which is going to go at this. So we're gonna pump up our Nettle Sentinel here, nice and big. But we're still going to be able to get Huntmaster and Timberwatch Elf next turn, so that bodes pretty well for me. I don't know if I want to attack with both of these Nettle Sentinels. I think I do, right? Even if I lose one, at least then I've gotten whatever they've had in their hand out of the way. And other best case, they trade with the Seeker. So they just took it, which is what I was kind of thinking they were going to do there. So I like that. Now we're going to untap this, play this other Timberwatch Elf. And again, what this tells me is that if they didn't do anything there against like the Nettle Sentinel or anything, they probably just don't have it. So this Timberwatch probably just sticks around. Really want to see another blue source. If I can see either a Birchlord Rangers or a Birchlord Rangers or Sylvan Ranger, or heck, even just natural drawing the island, we're so ahead and so far in business here. I really don't think there's any way that we could lose. They found the prismatic strands, so excuse me, that's a little annoying. Planes back to their hand. Do they have a bolt? They had a bolt for the Timberwatch, so that Seeker's going to get there. Sure. Priest of Titania. That actually makes you want to attack the entire swing with the team. I don't care too much about these Kieran Rangers at the moment. No, I'm going to attack with everything except the Kieran Rangers. So they're probably just going to block Mystic and then use Prismatic Strands. So this gets the Prismatic Strands out of their graveyard and everything. Or no, they just take it. Okay. I'm fine with that as well. But we know their hand is literally just a plains. So they don't really have a lot going for them here. They might just go for another Faithless Looting and probably discard the plains. Maybe something else. Yep, there's the Faithless Looting. Sure. Trying to think what the best way I can make this work is. Seeker the way, sure. I think I want Sylvan Ranger the most. Maybe not right this second, but I think it's what I want to see. Because I did put Viridian Longbow on the bottom of my deck. So if I can use Viridian Longbow, or if I can use the Sylvan Ranger to get the blue source out of my deck, shuffle my deck so I have a more likely shot at seeing the Viridian Longbow, then that just really sets me up nicely. But really, even just hitting the blue source in general will just set me up so beautifully. Or I can see another forest and just get destroyed. Alright, well, again, I don't want to go in really hard here, because if I swing out, then they're just going to block my my best creatures that they can do reasonably. So they're going to block Huntmaster, Nettle Sentinel, probably the Elvish Vanguard, maybe even Priest Titania, and just Prismatic Strands, and just say, hey, Kendra, you're just dead. But they played all their Squadron Hawks, so if we can get the one of Spider Silk, well, that would be fantastic. Well-Wisher's super good too. Yeah. Oh my god, please let me keep this Well-Wisher. This Well-Wisher will completely change the tide of this battle. If it can stick around. Don't have the ability to kill me this turn, please. I hit F3 instead on accident. It's annoying. And they didn't have it. Yes, please don't kill my Well-Wisher. Yes. Look at all this life we're gaining. And now we should be pretty reasonably out of range of Rally the Peasants, even if they draw it. So this is super good. I just really need to see a blue source anytime soon here. There's a lot of ways I can make a blue source work for me here. And that sucks. Okay, so this is where I go Kieran Ranger, untap Well-Wisher a lot. So, okay, I should rephrase that. This sucks, but it doesn't suck as bad as it looks. Not only did I just gain a ridiculous amount of life, but I still have Elvish Vanguard, Huntmaster, and 2 Nettle Sentinels. If I can see a Lead the Stampede, then we would be fantastic. I agree. Vivian's Grizzly does have play some places, and this would be an excellent spot for it. And that's why I was such a big advocate of Vivian's Grizzly for Elves for a period of time there. Because it is a very good card. So I think my ideal draw here would actually be to see... I just had it. Oh, they had the rally. So, yeah, but we're not dead, so we're good. They're just gaining a lot of life. And hitting us for a nice little chunk of damage. That's not going to do it. Attack with these two. They might even just take it and not worry about this Prismatic Strands. Yes. 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 Yield. Excellent. Yeah, I really want to see, any blue source here at this point. And that's why I'm happy. Like, I think my best draw there would have been, maybe not Birchlore, but maybe the Sylvan Ranger. I think I just double block like this. So what this tells me is that they probably got another rally. Show me a blue source, please. That's not going to do it. Okay. So I did miss an attack with Nettle Sentinel there, but again, I don't think it really matters. We've got all 4 Squadron Hawks there. If they activate it, then they deal 20 points of damage to be guaranteed. This Elvish Vanguard actually can probably block the Seeker of the Way. No, it can't. So what I'm going to have to do, actually, is probably just throw the Elf Warrior, and I think Elvish Vanguard, the small one, in front of Seeker of the Way here. Spider Silk wouldn't even be that good, to be honest, because Spider Silk would it would allow us to block them effectively, but we would still lose our entire board because they would just go rally the Peasants into Prismatic Strands, and then they would just follow it up the next turn by going for another rally hit. So, it just doesn't really work for us very well. The new year has been pretty solid so far. I'm not gonna lie. I've been enjoying things at the moment. You know, doing a little more streaming. We're trying to have a good time. How about yourself there, Perdita Sauce? And that's gonna do it for me here. I think I just let whatever attack come through next turn. If they've got it, they've got it. If they don't have it, then sick. That hopefully gives us another turn to try and turn this around. But we probably just lost. No, okay, they didn't have it. So that means that they don't have Rally the Peasants. If they had the Rally the Peasants, then we would have seen it right there. But they did have the Journey to Nowhere. This is bad. I think my only real shot now is to lead the Stampede with multiple creatures. Forests, though, aren't doing it. So, we're going to try one more time. That's interesting. I'll block this. If they've got the rally, then they've just got it. There's the rally. Okay, so we're just dead. 9 lands with no Sylvan Ranger is unfortunate, but, you know, it happens. So we're going to try this, and we're going to go in again. I believe it was 2 Prohibits, and 2 Prohibits, 2 Scatter Shots, Harsh Sustenance, and so yeah. And then we, like I said, cutting down 2 Distant Melodies. They're not very good when they just board wipe us. Huntmaster, is that Huntmaster right? Yeah. Timberwatch Elf, a Vanguard, and I believe it was 2 Well-Wishers. 1 Well-Wisher. 1 Well-Wisher and 2 Timberwatches, that's right. Timberwatch isn't that good when they just go Prismatic Strands and whatnot. It was 9 of 13 lands. Like, I actually would have liked to have seen the island there. Like, but even still, like, seeing 9 of 13 lands in half of our deck is... The odds are so low about that. Well, I wouldn't say they're terribly low, but... They're definitely, like, on the lower end. We shouldn't have hit that many, basically. Wow, that's a good hand. That's a really good hand. I'm trying to math. So... I can't get a Spider Silk or Timberwatch on turn 2. I still think this hand is worth keeping, though. There's just so much going on in here. I don't like extra longbow because they're just so prone to remove them at creatures. The extra longbow isn't really relevant a lot of the time. Okay. Time to pray for no electrickery. I'm not going to go for this Kieran Ranger because I can't cast anything. I'd rather at least keep something online just in case I just get blown out here. Alright. Do they have other bolt for... No. Sweet. This is perfect. So even though we lost our Birchler Rangers, we can't cast this Melody. We can go in for the Spider Silk Armor, which is actually very important here. It makes me wonder if actually maybe I should have gone for Kieran Ranger into Elvish Mystic. Because it might have actually meant that we would be able to get... keep the Birchler Rangers on the board. Double Well-Wisher is super good, though. Hand is turning out to be slow. I would actually like to see some of those lands that we were seeing a ton of last game, but the fact that we get the Well-Wishers here is pretty solid, and I'm okay with that. Then that means we get to gain some extra life. Assuming, of course, that they don't have Journey to Nowhere, which they do. So, like, I'm very torn about whether or not this deck should be elves should be sideboarding in. God, what is it? The Gleeful Sabotages, because they do run Journey to Nowheres, but they don't run that many of them, you know? So I'm like, I don't know that I really want that, because if they don't hit very many of those Journey to Nowheres, then I don't get much value out of those Gleeful Sabotages. But it can be like such a powerhouse move that I question it, and I go back and forth on it a lot. Bolting the Mystic, that's interesting. Wow. That's unfortunate. Show me a land, please. They've definitely blown through a lot of their removals, so I would very much like to see a land so I can get this Priest. I think I would actually probably be able to keep it. And if I'm able to keep the Priest, then like the entire game changes. Because at that point, then I can start firing off Timberwatch Elf, Huntmaster. We would be off to the races at that point. So they ditched Battle Screech and Mountain, so I'm wondering what they got going on here. Squadron Hawk. Okay, so I gotta be really careful about these Squadron Hawks, because I also don't want to fall into the trap of getting blown out by any electrickery. So, we got our land, so we can start going in on... Well, actually, hang on. I want to attack with this Nell Sentinel first. I actually have an open opportunity to do so here. Yeah, no block. Let's tap Well-Wisher, because again, I don't want to block the Squadron Hawks. I know it seems like it's really easy, but I don't want to. Just because, again, if I block with Priest Titania on the Squadron Hawk and they go Electrickery, then I lose my Priest. It's just such a risky line. Like, it's such an unnecessarily risky line. So I don't know that I really want to take that risky shot if I can afford it. So they have one Squadron Hawk left in their hand, and 2 unknowns. Battle Screech, sure. Okay. Whoa, that's really good. I think I want Huntmaster here right now. Or do I... What do I want here? Do I want Huntmaster or do I want Timberwatch Elf? I think I want Huntmaster. I want to hold the... Even though I can cast the Longbow and it might actually be more mana efficient to do so now, I also don't want to open it up to, like, getting blown out. Oh my god. Yeah, it's best to play the Longbow now. So now what I can do is this opens me up to being able to cast Timberwatch next turn, or rather, paying 3 mana off the Priest of Titania, equipping Viridian Longbow, and then I can use Timberwatch Elf. What do we got? 4 mana, Palace Sentinels, sure. Draw some cards, do some things. They don't have a, oh, we got Forest too. So that's really good. Well, it doesn't matter. It's still going to be the same outcome. I'm going to kill this Seeker of the Way now because I'm able to at the moment. So I'm going to take advantage of the opportunity. And we're going to see what happens this next turn. I maybe actually should have tapped the Well-Wisher there while I had the opportunity. So now it's a question of, do they kill the Well-Wisher? Do they kill the Timberwatch Elf? What are we going to see happen here? There's actually a lot of things that could happen. So I'm actually going to tap this Well-Wisher now before I forget about it. So even though they're drawing extra cards with Palace Sentinels, like, this feels really good. If I could see a blue source of any kind, then I just run away with this game, pretty much. Okay, so they put the Prismatic Strands in the graveyard. So this Nettle Sentinel is going to be harder to really kind of go off with, but we'll see what happens. Raven Inspector, sure. Yikes. Okay. This is really good because now we have active Timberwatch Elf. It's harder for them to really go in for like a proper bolt or something like that. So they have to use the Journey to Nowhere to get rid of the Timberwatch Elf at this point. I really need a Birchlore Rangers at this point. Like, more than anything. Or I could find another Spider Silk Armor. That's pretty good too, right? What's my play here? I think it's just blow up the Squadron Hawks. And then play Spider Silk Armor onto Nettle Sentinel there. Yeah. So now they really just have to go in at the ground level. It's a lot harder for them to do so. we are still in a bit of a rough point because they can just draw into, like, removal really easily with Palace Sentinels. You know, we could also see Leave No Trace. There's, like, a whole bunch of things we could see that could be pretty problematic for me at this point. But again, a Bolt spell really doesn't do anything against me, so I don't mind this too much. They can do damage. 6 damage is fine because I just gain 6 damage every turn, or I gain 6 life every turn. And there it is, the big boy themselves. So we're going to try for the Seeker of the Way here. Kind of see what happens. I'm going to put this up here, actually. We'll see if this lands. I'm okay with Prismatic Strands doing that for the moment. I'd rather keep the Prohibit up if I can help it. But now we're going to draw a lot of cards, everyone. Alright, so let's go for Lead the Stampede here. I want to see how deep I can go on this. And they just scooped it up. So, I would have seen only a Birchlore Rangers, but the Birchlore actually would have been really good because I would have put it face down. Putting it face down means that I could use the Viridian Longbow to my advantage there. It also blocks Seeker of the Way and such, because you can't Prismatic Strands and stop colorless creatures. So it actually has some good play there. How's it going, Lovecraft? How are we doing? Hope you are having a fantastic day. I'm just going to run this deck back. We're just going to see how it plays out here. One way or another, if I win or if I lose here, I'm going to end it after that. I will be back later in the evening. I'm going to go see a couple movies tonight. So I'm really excited about that. They mulligan to 6. I kind of like this hand. It's still risky, but man, the payoff here is huge. They mulligan to 5. And so basically, like, the payoff here is so big, and we're already basically in the negative anyway. So I don't really mind keeping this hand and trying to risk, you know. I'd rather try and show off, like, a big payoff and kind of have fun with it, rather than just, like, shirk away from it and just get destroyed. Or, you know, not making it very exciting. Seeker, yeah. I wanted this Priest, but I also want to get my mana. I think I'm going to go for the Priest. Again, we're trying to go flashy here. I want to have fun with this, you know. You guys want to have fun? I really want to have some fun. So let's see if we can get this. Journey to Nowhere. Boo. Boo, I say. Alright, that's fine. If I see a forest, I'd probably go... Okay, so we didn't see a forest. So I'm going to go Sylvan Ranger, find forest. I could go for the island, but I think I actually want to make sure... I really want to try and advance my board here more. Excellent. Well, I'm glad you're having a fantastic day so far then. Sounds like, at least. So if they attack, I just let it through. Not really any point in me doing otherwise. Squadron Hawks. That's annoying. So, I'm wondering what I should do. I'm close to... Okay, so they just had Secret Lewis. So all they have in their hand is 3 Squadron Hawks. I think I actually want to... Since I drew the Forest, I think what I want to do is go Huntmaster Nettle Sentinel here. And then next turn, I'm going to go for a Lead the Stampede. Or 2, depending on what I draw. Maybe we should have blocked with Sylvan Ranger there. Oh, they got Prismatic Strands. That's lovely. Okay, this makes my me go and lead the Stampede here feel so much better. Okay, this is good. I wish now I had that Nettle Sentinel still, but... Alright. Now again, I don't want to go too deep because of the potential for Electrickery to blow me out, but I do want to try and go in a little bit on this Lead the Stampede and see if we can find some more stuff. Oh shoot, that's so good! Scattershot Archer. That's like exactly what I needed here. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it like this. Ah, but that Scattershot draw was so good. They might just sack this clue. Yeah. They don't want to play Squadron Hawks when they know I can just kill it. Prohibit one time. Let's see it. Alright. I am going to actually untap one of these tokens, though. And we'll just block. Like this. Yeah, I'm trying to be careful of the Electrickery play. Don't worry. I've got 30 life, so they may actually just let this attack go through and then just, like, chump block one of my small creatures. So I want to not attack with Kieran Ranger or Birchlord Rangers. I don't mind if they hit one of my mana dorks because I just have so much other ways to make mana. I'm really curious if they're going to throw down the Prismatic Strands now. That would feel like a really weird time to go for the Prismatic Strands. Yeah. I will play this Elvish Mystic. I'm going to play the little ones that they know that I've got, so I can just chump block, basically. That was a good draw. All of those. What the heck? I'll go in with these guys too. So yeah, they're just gonna chump block my Mystics, and that's fine. Again, I have so many other ways to get mana down here that I really don't care. So we've still only seen one Squadron Hawk. We know that they put 3 into their hand. So they've got 3 Squadron Hawks and an unknown. Like, this lines up really nicely as far as I'm concerned. I think we got this pretty locked up at this point. Journey. Maybe not. Wonder what the journey is going for. I guess we'll find out. Maybe Scattershot, actually. No, it's going for the Timberwatch. Battle Screech. So they've still just got the what are they called? Squadron Hawks in their hand. Do I just swing out here? Because they have to block the Vanguard. Yeah? And it's even good for me to attack with the Scatter Shot, because it still pushes some extra damage through and I can always untap it. My gut was right. So we're going to go down to 9, and we'll see how this plays. Do we win it? We got there. So we actually ended off on a pretty decent note, 2-3. It's not the best, but we still ended up with half of our points back. So, you know, I'm going to take that. So, fantastic. So, and yes, I'm streaming Pauper kind of regularly. I am going to do more of other formats very soon, but I am actually, excuse me, I'm kind of promoting my whole Ultimate Pauper Elves Primer. This is my most recent article that went up yesterday. It's all about sideboarding, and it's super in-depth. Look at this. Look at this. This is a sideboard guide, everyone, for Pauper Elves, with 3 different builds, and very exciting. We've got all the different versions. You can find them all right here in this little first line here of this article. I'm going to drop it in here. MTG bot is being a little slow today, so give it a moment. There you go. For anyone who wants to check it out and learn how to play Pauper Elves, that's how you do it. Fantastic primer. I hope you all check it out. I've been very proud. It took me a lot of effort to really put this together. So, at this point, though, I am pretty much going to end it. I have a couple movies that I'm going to go see in about an hour. I'm going to go see Parasite, and then I'm going to go see 1917. Nice little double feature. I haven't been to the movies in a while. So, here's my deck list again for you all one more time. I do have Cardboard Live now. You can check it out there. So, I'm going to do a few little shout-outs here real fast. First and foremost, I want to thank Card Hoarder. They are a fantastic sponsor of mine. Without them, none of this would be possible. They are fantastic if you want to go buy some Magic Online cards, or else, you know, they have loan accounts, and they're really cool. I also like to shout out CoolStuffInc.com. You can find my articles. Obviously, I just showed you one. And you can click my name at the top of that article. Right here, Kendra Smith, and it'll take you to my entire article lineup. All my articles that I've ever written with CoolStuffInc.com. And I have a lot that I've done so far, and I'm really happy, really excited about that. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm very active on there. I talk about magic, not magic, all kinds of things. And I also have a Discord server now. I have had this for a while. I haven't really done very much with it, but I've been trying to build it up a little bit. So I highly recommend, if you want to talk Elves, Pauper, other formats, if you want to maybe give me some deck ideas for future streams, you can go ahead, drop me a line right there. And I hope to see you all there. Do I have one more thing? I think I had one more thing. I do not. So if you like the stream, if you're not already following, you can hit that little heart button, a little follow at the top. I very much appreciate it. I love having you all here. If you're on YouTube, you know, you hit that subscribe button, like, comment, whatever. You know the drill. But I appreciate you all for hanging out. Thank you for so much. You could be spending time anywhere, and you ended up being here. So what I'm going to do, let's take a quick peek. I'm going to try and raid somebody. I want to see if anybody cool has dropped by over here. If I got anybody going on here who's cool that I can raid. We got Benjamin Wheeler. I'm going to go drop him a line over at LR. He's good people. I love seeing him, so let's go drop him a line, shall we? So, have a great night, everybody. Thanks so much for hanging in. I will be back later today. I will be back once I finish the movies. Probably like 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to do one more stream. And then I'm going to be back tomorrow for a Pauper Challenge run. And we're going to see how that goes. Hopefully it'll be a little smoother for us than these leagues went and how they've been going. But meantime, we're going to raid Benjamin. I'll see you all later this evening. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you then. Thank you all, everybody. Have a great night.